Today we are looking at making your spending plan, making a budget for the categories that you've set, and the reason why you still make the budget even though it will change. If you have a variable income, you make your budget for the month, the ideal. So as and when you receive money, Hi, I'm Gabriela, and this is the Personal Finance and Coffee Podcast. And on this channel, we talk about how can you manage your money in a way that you don't feel like I have made the money, but then where has it gone? So 5 years later, 10 years later, you're in a place where you're like, I made the money and I've been able to make progress on the goals that I have. This is what we talk about on this channel. And if you find this interesting, you can like the episode and subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming episodes. I've been having a number of episodes where we talk about the action steps to take to manage your money better, to manage your money differently in 2025. So we use this December time, we use this time to prepare our mindsets and take some steps so that we are ready come 2025. Today we are looking at making your spending plan, making a budget for the categories that you've set. I'll have a link to the playlist. If you've missed the previous episodes, please go watch them so that you kind of have an idea of the flow of the different steps to take. I'll have it linked in the description, the playlist. Now, when it comes to making your budget, I've made very many episodes on making your budget. In the previous episode, we talked about setting your categories and why it's important. When you're making your budget, if you have a salary, for example, it's a little bit, in quotes, simpler because you know every month, this is how much I make and this is how much I'm going to put under my different categories. Now, the budget that you're making is an estimate, especially since you've not tracked in the past, because even when you've tracked for so long, sometimes I make a budget and it doesn't work because different life events happen that I probably had not anticipated. So the reason why you still make the budget, even though it will change, it kind of gives you permission to spend on certain things, and it puts guardrails in areas where you normally overspend, and you overspend out of habit, not because it's what you want. So when you're aware, then you're able to say, okay, let me manage this category, let me manage this category. So you make you put in your income, how much you expect, then you assign your fixed expenses, the ones that do not change, the rent, power, electricity, those things. Then you will have your savings and investments, and you will have your variable expenses, the ones that change from month to month, the social activities, the groceries, the transport. They're not always consistent. So you will have those and you will assign amounts to them. If you have a variable income, you make your budget for the month, the ideal. So as and when you receive money, you have where you want to spend it. Because when you receive money and you don't have this budget, somehow the money just goes. Things come up that you probably had not thought about previously. They said, let's go do this, there's plot, there's what. But when you have the budget that you've already set, then you're able to assign money to that. Now, this is for people who have variable income. That's one option. The second option is every time you get money, you plan for it, you make a budget. Each time that you're paid. That's the second option. Now, the third option works when you have a savings buffer. If you've been in position to save maybe like 1 month, then when the month begins, even though you have a variable income, you're in position to use that 1 month, then you budget as if you have a salary. Then as the month goes on, every time you receive money, you put it there on the side, you put it there. This works for commission basis, because when you're earning from a business, it's a different kind of budgeting process, because now there's the issue of restocking. Those are other things that come into play that honestly I have not experienced and I may not be able to guide accordingly. But those are general ideas that I can give when it comes to budgeting, especially for fixed income earners and maybe commission earners. That is what I can share in terms of making the budget. But once again, this is like an experiment to find what works. When you make the budget, then you track the budget, which takes us to the episode where I talked about setting your management system. You track the budget, the expenses, you track the income. This will then give you something that is a bit more realistic and more accurate, because fine, you made the budget, then when you track, you're able to analyze what you actually spent. and it will guide you when you're making the budget for the next month. So this whole process is a trial and error system. After a number of months, it will become clear and it will be a bit more faster. You don't have to think through it so much, because now you know what works. You now know what you would prefer to spend your money on and what doesn't work for you. So that is what I can share when it comes to this. And when I was going through this process, for a while, I would start and then stop until I found what works for me. So keep in there. I have a budgeting template that I'm going to have linked below. This template takes you through a place where you can have your budget for like January. This is my income, this is January, February, all the way to December. So if you're interested in this, you can have it. You can click in the link below and get your budget. If this is something you find interesting, please like the episode and subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming episodes. I'll see you in the next one.